Hello. Welcome to the Previously On podcast. I'm your host, Jillian Bonani, and joining me today is a guy who will probably bet on the predictions we make today on one of those gambling apps. It's my husband, Tyler Branch.
You know, I hadn't thought about that, but that's a good idea. I should have reached out to, FanDuel or something, seeing if they could have put these up.
We could have gotten some sponsorships going here.
Yeah. I might have to make a few wagers after we get done recording because I've done my research. I'm putting my money behind it.
As long as you can make money and not lose money, I'm okay with it.
Well, we'll see.
Are you going to put money on these predictions, or are you going to be a namby-pamby?
You have not let me live down saying the word namby-pamby in last week's app.
Tyler said the phrase namby-pamby, and as he was saying this, I was so confused. What is he talking about? I've never heard you say that. I've never heard of this phrase in my life, and I was so caught off guard, I just let it go, and I've never been more mad that I just let that go in that moment. So now I have to keep reminding him that he said namby-pamby.
You said it through you like the rest of the app that I said.
Yeah.
Because you were like, what was that?
I was so thrown off. I thought, am I supposed to know this phrase?
Well, I'm Googling it to see if I used it right. It describes someone who's indecisive, sentimental, lacking character and firmness. I think that was fair. I was describing Lexi scolding all the other characters.
You did use
Lexi,
it in the right way. I mean, now we're using namby-pamby all the time. So
namby-pamby. I'm not going to be a namby-pamby. I'm going to be decisive, and I'm going to put money on these predictions.
Yeah, we're not going to be namby-pambys today. We are making hard predictions, hard theories.
Happen.
We're ready to go. We are talking all about our theories, predictions, and questions for season 3 of Euphoria. We're going to start with our own theories, and then we're going to do a full rundown of some of the top fan theories on Reddit. So we really have done our research here. We are now mid-season, and I feel like we have a better idea of what's happening so far. So I feel good about making predictions now for the rest of the season.
What do you want to do, an early prediction? Is this the final season of Euphoria?
Ooh, I predict this is not going to be the final season of Euphoria.
Wow.
I think, look, is Zendaya going to be in another
season?
No, I don't think Zendaya will be in another season. I don't even know if Jacob Elordi will be in another season. But Sydney Sweeney is going to keep this ship going. That's what I predict.
I don't know. I really can't tell. HBO is one of the few networks that shows do go out with huge ratings. I could see them stopping it, especially if there's no Zendaya. What characters could they bring back that we haven't gotten? Maybe Chris McKay could come back.
Bring back McKay. Bring back Ethan. Bring back those season 1 boys.
Yeah, he's starring in that new Resident Evil movie, so he's kind of becoming a big star.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks great in that. Austin Abrams. Yeah.
He's great. He's so talented. He's probably
bring
too
back
big.
Ashtray. Let's just pretend Ashtray didn't die. Just bring back Ashtray. I'll watch that. Season 4, Ashtray.
Ashtray is risen. That's the season.
You know what I could see them doing? I could see this being the last season of Euphoria. And I could see there being a follow-up to this of like a Euphoria story. Like Euphoria : kind of thing.
Yeah.
About other characters or something else.
I think it will be a bit more of a spin-off. I don't think it will be Euphoria with all these characters. I don't think it will look like this, but I do think they're going to tell another season of a TV show that takes place in the Euphoria universe. We're just going to expand the universe.
I predict we will not get a season 4 of Euphoria this decade.
This decade?
No, I don't think there's going to be I think this is the final season of Euphoria.
Okay.
And if they change their mind and bring it back for a season 4 later, I don't think that would happen for a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening before 2030. I think what will be next will be in the Euphoria universe / the Idol universe, but it'll be like a Euphoria story. So are you saying you don't think it's the final season?
I don't think
it
it's
is the final season.
I don't think it's the final season. I think
the ratings are too big for them to give this up.
It's huge. But I wonder if it will be like Tell Me Lies, where they want to go out on top and they're going to announce it the week before the final episode. Surprise, this is the final episode.
Didn't y'all find out that was the series finale, like the week of the episode?
The day before, I believe
Wow.
it was, we found out it was the final episode of Tell Me Lies. And I thought the ratings are so good. The show is so popular right now. No way are they going to not do another season. But these showrunners and creators want to end on top. They want to end in the way that they want to end it.
I don't think Sam wants to end it.
Because I don't think he had this like huge vision of where this show was going to go at the beginning of it.
It got really blown up by the COVID shutdown and then the writer's strike. And so I think he truly is just like figuring it all out again now. Like, I do think that blew up everything. So I don't know. I could see him wanting to come back, but I think it's going to be like a Euphoria story spinoff that maybe Sydney Sweeney appears in someone else's show as like a guest, but I don't know if we're getting full Euphoria again. These
think
could be
we
the
will.
final 4 episodes.
I think we'll be getting another season with some of these
All right.
characters, but
We'll
not
see who
for,
wins money on Cassie.
not for another at least 5 or 6 years, as this show does. All right, well, before we get more into today's episode, please follow and subscribe to our podcast wherever you might be listening. I know it probably pops up on your feed on the app, but it really helps us to keep this thing going and grow the podcast. So we would love it if you could click that follow or subscribe button. We've recorded a podcast for every single episode of Euphoria. We're going to continue to cover season 3 weekly. So look out for our Euphoria episode 5 podcast on Monday. And if you haven't already, please give us 5 stars, like our vids on YouTube, tell your friends to listen. It all really helps. Now let's get into some theories. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So we're
I got
going
a lot to say.
we're going to start
Clear
with,
out.
We're going to start with our theories. So we already predicted that Nate Jacobs would die. Do we still feel this way?
Yes. I think Nate is dying. Do you think Nate is dying?
I flipped on this. I think Rue is dying now.
Okay. You think this is the Rue's death spiral this season?
I think Zendaya added that to her contract. I think she said, I'll give you another season, but you better kill me off because I cannot come back to this show.
That's fair, because she's quite busy this year. She's got a lot going on.
She has the Odyssey. She has Spider-Man. She has Dune. The rest of this year.
That's just this year, yeah.
Just this year. I mean, those are all 3 huge movies. She does not have time.
I was looking it up, and she's apparently starring in Shrek 5 next season as
Huge.
Shrek's daughter.
Yeah.
And since 2020, she's been rumored to be starring in the movie about the Ronettes, the singing group about like Ronnie Spector, the leader of the Ronettes. Ronnie Spector chose Zendaya to play her in the biopic in 2020, and Zendaya hasn't had time to shoot it since then. And Ronnie Spector has died, unfortunately, since then. It has been so long going. But she said on Jennifer Hudson last month that it's still happening, and she is going to play Ronnie Spector in the Ronettes movie. So
She'll finally have the time because she died on this show.
she dies.
She dies on
what
this
you
show.
think.
That's why she feels so confident in saying that now.
Yeah.
I also I don't know how Rue is going to get out of this situation of being the rat. I know we consistently see her able to get out of these situations, but I just think this time it's pretty bad. I don't see her getting out of this one. She's a terrible rat. She has not been good at this. And who gets out of these situations? This never turns out favorably. We've watched Sopranos. This never works out well.
I know what you mean. She's in a real The Departed situation, playing a lot of sides. Not being able to tell anyone what's really going on with her, who she really is. I mean, I can't imagine that pressure if you can't even tell anyone, like there's not a soul in your life you can trust with this information that you're an informant.
That's
so
a lot
I get
on a
what you mean.
person.
I think she's in a pickle.
Quite the pickle.
I think it's going to be stressful. In the episode 5 preview, it looked like people are really doubting her between Bishop and Alamo. So we'll see. But I just think Elordi this feels like the comeuppings for Nate Jacobs, because he had been so much the violent, evil figure in season 1 and 2. And now the violence has come for him. And so it just feels like, how's he going to get $1 million and pay these guys off? Like, and I think the meter's still running on it all. Like, I think it's going up each week. And they seem to be, breaking into his house. It's looking pretty violent for him.
I know. You make a good point. But I'm thinking, Cassie's making some good money now. She can give him some money.
Why is she giving it to him?
I don't know.
She got her flowers.
She's good. She's all set.
Yeah.
I could just see Nate somehow figuring out how to get out of this situation. Because on this show, the evil and the bad people somehow always still win, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
That I almost think it's too satisfying as a viewer for Nate Jacobs to die.
I know what you mean. And it does feel like he does have a side to him that he can start getting lower and get more manipulative and evil and try to out-evil the evil. You know what I mean? Out-bad the bad guys.
Tap into his old self.
But I don't know. Things seem pretty dire for him. It feels like he really got ahead of his skis here. He's trying to live a life he doesn't have. I don't know how he's going to fix it. I don't know how the Sun Settlers community is getting built with those flowers. Bill needs to see that environmental report. Like, I don't know how he's getting out of this.
Bill is on top of Nate at this moment. It's not looking good right now.
Maybe he blackmails Bill somehow. Maybe he finds out Bill's got a drawer of CDs.
Yeah, like he always somehow gets out of these situations.
Yeah.
But I know this one is bigger and really bad. So we'll see. I mean, maybe Rue and Nate Jacobs are both going to go. Maybe Jacob Elordi and Zendaya put it in both of their contracts of, I'm only giving you this last season, so just kill me off at this point.
I do not think he'll kill Rue. I think Rue is like so integral to Sam and like his addiction story that I kind of can't see him killing her.
Well,
I
let
think
me
he would
just
rather
throw
hold
a
out.
wild theory at the wall. It's more fun.
I'm allowed to argue with it. I think most people think Rue is going to die this season. But the reason I don't think it's going to happen is because of Sam's personal attachment to the character, the addiction story, and not wanting to be that bleak, especially after Angus Cloud's death.
Yeah,
I don't know if
true.
he wants someone who's struggled with addiction to die in the story where he can control it.
He wants there to still be some hope there.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We don't get much hope on this show.
We disagree on this. You make a very compelling point that Zendaya's never coming back to the show, so why not kill her off? But I'm sticking with Nate's going to die. You're sticking with Rue's going to die.
And we'll see. We'll see who wins this one. That will be fun. Maybe no one's going to die. That would be the real plot twist here.
That might be what it is, honestly. It's just everyone's theorizing who's going to die, and literally no one dies in the end.
We'll see. All right, moving on to the next one. Cassie is going to hook up with Dylan Reid, the star of LA Nights.
I like that.
I mean,
Cassie hooking up with somebody? I could see that.
Yeah, I could definitely see this. This isn't really a wild theory. Cassie hooking up with a hot guy is not the craziest theory we've had.
Well, Maddie's already took her to, what's that guy's name? Brandon Fontaine's house. And you know, she didn't hook up with him, but we see in the trailer they are still hanging out.
And I think she's just going to go up from there. Like Brendan Fontaine is an influencer. Mm-hmm. But if she hooks up with Dylan Reid, the star of a TV show, that's big.
Now you're getting legitimacy.
That's really getting your name out there. And we saw Maddie try to do this with Caitlyn.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, and that's when her boss really shut it down.
That's when they caught her, is when she hooked up Caitlyn, the influencer girl, with Dylan. Because they were like, no, she's a porn star. He can't date her.
But I wonder if it's going to work with Cassie now.
It does seem like now she's going for it. That's good. I like that. I think that's well. They've shown that Cassie's auditioning for LA Nights. They released that clip.
Yeah, which is a great clip. It's
Yeah,
so
where she
good.
does
I love it.
Shakespeare.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah. So that is interesting if she ends up being on the show. She gets the part in LA Nights.
And then hooks up with Dylan.
And she gets the part. She's got to be flirting with Dylan Reid, the star, immediately.
I also think that they're showing Cassie aligned with Caitlin a little bit, but doing a better job of it. Like being smarter about it. We saw that in the last episode I don't think Caitlin has gotten this much publicity at one of Brendan Fontaine's party. Like, she didn't do it the way that Cassie did it.
Well, Cassie's doing exactly what Maddie tells her to do.
Right.
She doesn't have the confidence to think she knows what to do. She's just doing what Maddie tells her to do.
And Caitlin didn't get that opportunity because Maddie had to stop working with her.
Which is going to be good for Cassie until it's not.
Right.
Until Maddie probably takes all her money or something.
That would be kind of fun. It does feel like Maddie could be doing some kind of revenge plot on Cassie, but we don't know yet. Like, is she going to try and take all her money? Is she trying to humiliate her in some way? I do think Maddie is motivated by money right now.
I do think she wants the money first.
That's number one.
That's the most important thing.
So I could see she kind of does something to try and get Cassie's money, but isn't it just even better of, I made you a star and now I'm making so much money off of you because you're doing what I say. Like, I'm the mastermind behind this. She gets power. She gets the
power.
And she gets
her own
money.
Agency, probably, if they can get really big.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's not her trying to do revenge. I think she's just trying to use Cassie to her advantage.
Do you think Cassie getting on LA Nights will be good or bad for Lexi?
Bad. I mean, we all remember that play. We all remember that play. Or it could be bad for Cassie because Lexi tries to humiliate her. Maybe.
Writes a storyline that, like, oh yeah, because in the trailer there's that line of like, the network loves your new storyline. I does wonder, is this some like humiliation of Cassie's storyline?
I mean, I could see that where she writes this like crazy plot line and Cassie has to do all this crazy stuff in the show or do something really humiliating.
Dylan Reid is reenacting like Nate Jacobs stuff.
Oh my God, that would be good. I'd love that. We love it when this show goes full meta, so I'd be here for that.
She might put the wedding in it. That's what she might write about.
Or it could be Cassie having to be that dog again, and it goes back to that. I could
fair.
see
What's
something
more
like
humiliating than the doggy in the window?
Like, the doggy in the window was the most humiliating thing I've ever seen.
Fair.
And I could see them going that meta in that sense.
Yeah, I could see that.
So we'll see. But Lexi is vicious with that pen. So something good is going to come of it. Something fun to watch. All right, moving on. Buckle up for this one, everyone. Tyler watched the old Western TV show that Euphoria keeps referencing called Have Gunn, Will Travel. Tell us, what did you learn?
You darn right I did. So Have Gunn, Will Travel. We've seen shots of this show. It's an old black and white Western show and we've seen Laurie watching this show throughout this season. She's watching in the first episode a couple times, and she was watching it in episode 3, and she named her parrot, Paladin, after the main character in this show. So Have Gunn, Will Travel stars Richard Boone playing Paladin. And basically each ep, Paladin travels to a new town in the West as like a gun for hire who solves people's problems. And so I spent way too much tracking this down, but I figured out the exact episodes that Laurie is watching. I watched both of these episodes on Pluto TV.
I came into the room and I said, "What are you watching?"
I was like, babe, I'm in deep right now. I have been trying to figure out what Laurie is watching, and I have finally cracked it. So The first episode in Have Gun Will Travel that Laurie is watching is the one we see in episode 1. And we see it a couple times, but we see a young guy is buried up to his neck in the sand. I don't know if you remember that shot in episode 1.
Yes.
And like Rue glances at it while they're at the table and looks back down. And so, you know, we'll get to this later, but that does make me wonder if Rue at some point is going to be buried up to her head in sand. I found out that that's called a sand necktie and is a common trope in Western shows. That someone's buried up to their head so that they're not killed, something else kills them, a snake or bugs or a bird or something. It's like supposed to be a torturous death.
New fear
is
unlocked.
what they do in Westerns.
I don't like that.
So in the first episode that I watched of Have Gun Will Travel, Paladin rescues this young man, but regrets it immediately because then the boy steals his horse. And Paladin has to walk to his mission where he's supposed to escort this wealthy man's young, beautiful daughter to America. The boy and his gang return and try to stop them along the way. It turns out that the boy is in love with the girl that Paladin's escorting.
This sounds like my kind of story.
I know. I was like, you love these kind of stories. Paladin and the girl eventually escape from the boy and his gang and go on to America. And then the big reveal at the end is he said, "What's that boy's name?" And his name is Pancho Villa, the Mexican revolutionary. So the episode kind of seems to be that like poor Pancho Villa couldn't have this girl from the wealthy, so he decided to turn up all of society. You know, start a revolution. That first step was season 3 of Have Gun Will Travel. The next step Laurie is watching takes place in season 6. Paladin rescues a young man who's being chased by an angry mob. The young man is the exact same actor from the other episode. This is an actor named Rafael Campos, and he's the guy who played Pancho in this one. In this one, he's playing a guy named Paco.
Okay, so not the same character.
Not the same character. Very bizarre. But this is how they used to do it on old TV shows where, you know, you're never going to see it again. They just crank out eps. After a few seasons, you can just bring an actor back and have him play a different role. But I think it's very purposeful that Sam Levinson picked 2 episodes with the same actor. These are the only 2 episodes of Have Gun Will Travel this actor is in, where he's playing 2 different characters that are very similar. I think there is no question that this actor, the 2 roles, Pancho and Paco in these 2 episodes, are the inspiration for Rue in season 3. Let me just explain what happens in the rest of this app and I'll get into it. Paladin visits an old church. He's looking for a rare bottle of brandy he's heard of. The church is missing a statue of religious significance and they're desperate to get it back before the festival of the harvest. And they'll view it as a miracle if someone as hedonistic as Paladin could return it to them. He agrees to bring back the statue in exchange for the brandy. He finds out that Paco, the young man he rescues at the beginning, is the one who stole the statue. And Paco has sold it to these men who run a bar. Throughout the episode, Paco is playing all sides. He's helping Paladin. He took a bunch of money from the men who run the bar. Paco ends up helping Paladin steal it from these men that he had sold it to. But while he's escaping, Paco steals a horse from an indigenous tribe. And so it ends up being that Paladin rescues 3 nuns and has Paco, and they're all being chased back to the church by the men who run the bar. They're being chased by an indigenous tribe of Native Americans. Finally, all converge at the church, and they realize the statue was stolen. They let the church have the statue, and they all end up going in to worship together in the church. Paladin gets his brandy. Paco is asking for a reward. They squabble. They end up breaking the brandy. So in the end, nothing is accomplished.
Interesting.
I think you can see how all of this could be influencing season 3 of Euphoria.
Well, it feels like Paco is Rue of kind of like causing destruction everywhere he goes. People are coming after him, which really feels like that's what's happening in season 3 with Rue. She's going to be ratting on people, betraying people left and right, and then they're going to be coming after her.
Yes, and it seems so inspired by this character. So this guy, Rafael Campos, was just like a working actor from like the 50s to the 80s in like minor roles. One of the most notable things about him was he was married to the famous singer Dinah Washington. She had between 6 and 9 husbands, and reports vary as to which one he was. But
That's fun. Good for her.
yeah. But again, he plays Pancho and Paco in these 2 episodes, 2 different characters. They don't want the audience to know they're the same, but it's that weird, eerie thing with old TV shows where you're like, isn't this the same actor? The actor has a very young looking, he's shorter, he's very boyish seeming, even though he seems to be in his 20s. His facial expressions, eerily similar to Zendaya.
Weird.
Pancho thing, it's interesting because he's a hero in Mexico, but a criminal in the U.S. Like, especially Paco, he's a con artist who by the end is turned into a religious convert, worshiping with everyone. These are such weird similarities. You know what I mean?
Well, when you were saying that the episode ends at a church, that to me, I'm thinking, okay, well, season 3 there's a lot of religion talk, religious undertones in it. So are we going to have a moment where everybody ends up at a church? Is that how this is going to end?
I think that feels so likely. There was a church in the trailer we saw. We see shots of Rue at a church, and it just feels like this is where it's all kind of converging. I think this episode was quite an inspiration that'll probably be done in a much more violent way, a much darker, 2026 Euphoria way. But the idea of this boyish character who's just trying to get ahead, just doesn't have anything, started this underage and is now just trying to like stay above water and have a little money and make a life, but is in so much trouble with so many people. And so it really feels like when they all converge at the end that the men who run the bar that Paco sold the statue to are Alamo's crew. And then there's the indigenous crew that Paco stole a horse from. And that's like Laurie's crew with Rue stealing the suitcase. And then Paladin seems to be like the DEA who's like trying to who's forced Paco into this terrible situation of playing all these sides. And then there's also the priest figure who is like probably Ali in this situation.
Oh, yeah.
So I do think it's
a good
all
point.
kind of, yeah, I do think it's all very interesting. There's a lot of like near-death moments, but I kind of think since things turn out okay for this character in both episodes, that's another reason why I think Rue is going to live, even though there are multiple moments where you think the boy's going to die.
Well, now you're switching me up. Now I'm thinking Rue is going to make it out of this.
We'll move on from this, but like the last things about Have Gun Will Travel, they do bring it up explicitly, the show. Bishop brings it up to Laurie in episode 3 that he's a fan of the show. We saw John Wayne on that mural in season 2. That like Nate and Cal both seem to really want to be the cowboy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And I do think it's about this kind of curse over America of just men wanting to be the cowboy and go out and, gunfight, take over the old West.
Yeah, I think they bring that up a little bit in every season of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of the men we're seeing in this show are bad people. There's not many good men or examples of good men in this show.
It's a good point. So we got a lot more theories to get to. Sorry I spent so long on Have Gun Will Travel, but I really do think if you want to know what this season's about, I think it's about Have Gun Will Travel. Fez and Lexi watched Stand By Me, in season 2 before her play. And he's comparing her play
I love
to
that
Stand
moment.
By Me. In Stand By Me, they sing the theme song for Have Gun Will Travel.
So this has been an influence even before this season, it feels like.
Like when the boys are marching down the railroad track, they all are singing the theme song of this show.
Clearly, Sam Levinson has some kind of connection to this show.
Definitely.
And then has made it even more of an inspiration in season 3. I
Yeah.
mean, those 2 episodes being seasons apart, I think says so much of this is very specific. This was chosen for specific reasons. And they're just throwing Easter eggs in our face with this if you actually go and look into it. Wow, good stuff. Thank you for doing that research.
Of course. Doing the heavy lifting on Have Gun Will Travel. I'll put the episodes in the description if you want to watch them on Pluto TV.
Somebody had to do that research, and we appreciate that.
doing the hard work for Euphoria season 3 here.
You are. We'll give you a raise. All right, moving on to our next prediction. This whole season is just a Western Lexi is writing. I like this one.
I like this theory. This is kind of fun.
We do see Lexi writing a script at one point, and no mention of it. No context or anything. We know she loves to write.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true. She's clearly watching everyone. Like, they show her on her computer, like typing a script as like Cassie is leaving her apartment across the way and coming down. So, you know, I could see that if they want to like insinuate that she's writing this as happening as it's happening.
I think that would be kind of fun. It always feels like something more is going on with Lexi, too, that we don't quite know.
Yeah. You know, in the movie Stand By Me, which I brought up, that's kind of the premise of how that movie starts, is the movie starts with they find out, they're adults and find out one of their friends has died. And then he's like writing the story of how they were all friends.
It does feel like Stand By Me is a big reference for this show, too. So I could see that.
So I get that. I would say I lean against, I don't really believe this because I think it's just too neat. And I think this is a messy show.
Well, I think it kind of ends up being a little bit of a letdown. So it's like, is this all fake? I don't know. I don't love when shows do this.
Or if it's the case, I don't think the show would be clear about it. I think it would get very hazy as the final 2 episodes of season 2 are, where you can't quite put your finger on what's real and what's the play.
Well, we just enjoyed the play so much. We want another version of that we can have this season. But ultimately, this is probably just her writing for LA Nights or something, or writing a script to show to her boss.
Which you do have to keep in mind, LA Nights is the production code for Euphoria. So it is still meta in that way. Even if she's just writing like spec scripts for LA Nights, they could still be meta referring to themselves. And I've seen a lot of people think that, but since Rue's been the narrator of this show at the beginning, it's going to come out that like she's narrating this to the police, Goodfellas style. But once again, I don't think it's that neat. I think it's like there's a lot of stuff with Rue's narration that I think wouldn't make sense in a literal way. I think she's supposed to be this kind of, you know, mystical narrator device.
And she's always been the narrator in that way. So it's not like something new to the story that they're just doing for this season.
Yeah.
So that's why the Goodfellas thing, I'm kind of like, but this is how the show always is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe then the narration could really lead to more. It is fun.
Especially for the big genre change this season of like Lexi's just like got into Westerns, started writing a Western script.
We love Lexi being the puppet master of this group. We love when she gets to play that role. So that's why we like this theory.
Definitely.
All right. Next prediction goes to, well, Tyler looked into the Holy Bible audiobook Rue is listening to. He really did his research for this episode.
Guys, my search history is weird this week.
It's getting weird.
Will travel.
It's getting weird.
So this, the audiobook that Rue's listening to of the Holy Bible is called The Word of Promise Audio Bible, and it is 79 CDs.
What?
And this was a big audiobook that seemed to come out in the 2000s with just all these celebrities voicing characters. But
that is
really
so weird that celebrities are voicing these characters.
I was looking at it, I was like, who all did the voices? And Jim Caviezel does Jesus. That makes sense. The Passion of the Christ guy. Richard Dreyfuss is Moses. The one that really grabbed me that I'm like, this can't be right, but that's what the credits say, is Jason Alexander plays Joseph. And I was like,
What?
what?
The guy
Like,
from Seinfeld?
George Costanza from Seinfeld is Joseph?
How much did
I gotta look that part up.
How
That
much did
seems
these people
wacky.
get paid for this? How much did Jesus Christ pay them to
I think
voice
these
these
were people-
characters?
I think these are, Christian celebrities who wanted to put their voice to it. John Voight's in it. It's Marcia Gay Harden. Lots of people. Marissa Tomei's in it. There's a ton of people. But the one that really grabbed me was when she's in her car. I kept thinking, what voice is that? When she's driving the Uber. And I realized it's Michael York, who is this British actor, but mainly I know him because he plays Basil in the Austin Powers movies. He's like the guy giving him his missions and stuff.
Weird.
And so you hear his voice throughout the Austin Powers movies. And I was like, oh my God, this is so wacky. He's the narrator.
This is just wacky overall, I think.
Yeah.
Wacky overall. But
Well,
it's a good reminder. This is going to come back into play? Is Rue going to become a Christian? Where are we heading with religion?
It has been in there since the pilot. She jokes to Fez when she first meets him, I have accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, whatever. It is, a lot of what the special between her and Ali is about redemption and him trying to get her to have faith. Like, this has always been into it. But I have a few I wanted to ask you about it. Do you think Rue will finish all 79 CDs this season?
No, I think she's gotten real busy. She's not driving down to Mexico anymore.
She's making some long trips, though. Going out to Alamo, going to the wedding.
I think she might have it on in the background, but I don't think she's listening.
You think she was playing that when she was driving Jules to the wedding?
I think Jules turned that off. Jules was not going to put up with that.
Yeah.
Jules doesn't want to listen to Jason Alexander.
Do you think one of the celebrities will make a cameo?
No, I don't
That would be
so.
great. Richard
That would be
Dreyfuss
fun.
shows up as Moses, speaking to her in a dream or something.
I'm going to guess that these celebrities forgot that they did this.
Oh, and the last one. Do you think Rue will become fully a Christian by the end of this?
I don't think it's as much about her fully identifying as a Christian or not and labeling herself in that way. But I do think it's more about, will she get redemption by the end of this? And about forgiveness.
Definitely. I don't know if she's going to fully be like in an organized church Christian, but I think starting with that apple off her head, I think we're going to see miracles happen this season that she's alive. And if she does survive the season through all these miracles, she's going to be like, I have to have faith in a higher power.
Yeah, I could see that, definitely. But I don't think she'll be labeling herself or going to a church all the time or something like that.
Go to church some. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe with Ali. I don't know.
Maybe
that's what they'll do together.
Yeah.
But I do think that she'll be redeemed by the end of it. Forgiveness will be a really big thing. That is something she has been talking about this entire show. From season 1, season 2, there's a question of she doesn't feel like a good person. Is she a good person?
Yeah.
And I think that will be answered by the end of it, of how she feels about herself.
Despite all these bad things she's done with drug running and Alamo, he seems to be into like sex trafficking. Like,
yeah,
it's
she's gotten herself into a whole other mess now.
Will she find a way out of all this mess through the DEA or something to find redemption? That'd be nice.
Yeah, I think it will be about her finding redemption in everything she's done this season, everything she's even done in season 2 and season 1. I mean, think about her relationship with her mom and her sister. Can she redeem that?
I would like to see her mom again. I would love for a Leslie appearance.
I think she's going to be in it. So I think that's going to come back around.
I was telling you, there are a lot of actors who have been announced with this show we haven't seen. Natasha Lyonne.
I feel like now this
Danielle
show is
Deadwyler?
kicking into high gear in the back half of the season. Like now we're full steam ahead.
When I watched the trailer again, there appears to be at least one character that still has not been introduced that's in the trailer. So
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, we got another Tyler research theory coming up.
This is the last one, I think, right?
Yeah, it is. Tyler says a 70s blaxploitation movie called Black Gunn was playing at Alamo's house. So you have really done your research into what everyone is watching in this season of Euphoria.
I did. I wanted to go through just like the background media because I do think Sam Levinson is often giving you Easter eggs and telling you what's really going on. And, I even looked up Lexi had a poster of Sweet Charity in her apartment. I don't think it's quite relevant yet, but I know what it's about. But this 70s blaxploitation movie called Black Gunn is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite movies. He even wrote about it in his book, and Quentin Tarantino is clearly a huge influence on Sam Levinson and this season. And it stars Jim Brown, the former NFL running back, is the star of the movie, and he's basically Alamo. He's a badass club owner, and like things go wrong with his brother. But the big thing about this movie that I think is going to hit Euphoria is the end of this movie ends with the most insane shootout I've seen in one of these movies. It's crazy. We're talking like it's in a warehouse, and it's like Jim Brown's black crew meets there, and Martin Landau's white crew meets there, and the cops end up meeting there, and like everyone is in this crazy shootout at the warehouse that like spills out into insane explosions and car explosions. It's crazy. It's an insane into a movie. And I think that's the ending of Euphoria we're getting. I think that is going to happen.
I think that's definitely going to happen. In like episode 7, I don't think it will be in the final episode. I think episode 7, it's going to be Alamo's crew, Laurie's crew, the DEA, the FBI, cops, that whole sector, and everyone is going to be coming together in this scene. This season of Euphoria is also more violent than other seasons. I know we've had Nate Jacobs violence in past seasons, but just overall, like, there's a lot more guns. There's... we're seeing toes being cut off. This season just overall is more violent than past seasons. So I do think that's really going to come to a head. Yeah.
They're not kids anymore. Their actions are having consequences.
Exactly.
When you mess around in the drug trade as an adult, it can get dark and violent in a hurry.
I really could see Nate Jacobs also at this shootout somehow. He just gets in the mix.
That's true. He already did that warehouse trap for his dad in season 2. He loves a warehouse.
Yeah.
If you want to watch Black Gunn, it's on Tubi, and you really just can watch the last 5 minutes of that crazy shootout in a warehouse.
All right, next theory goes to Alamo Strip Club is called the Silver Slipper after the Wizard of Oz. So this is interesting because the original slippers in the book and in Wicked are silver. They are not red. They were just red in the movie. The
ruby red slippers in the movie. Yeah.
I love a Wizard of Oz callback too, because everything kind of can go back to the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, so many stories. This Euphoria has it all covered, because I do feel like most storytelling in Hollywood goes back to the Wizard of Oz, the arc of the Wizard of Oz, or the arc of the Christ story. So it's like they're hitting both. So I could see that. They've shown that sign a lot that says the Silver Slipper.
Rue is Dorothy. She's just working her way down this yellow brick road, and trouble just keeps coming her way.
What a dark version of Oz she's in.
I know. Well, Oz is kind of dark when you think about it.
That's true. Wow. Yeah.
But if Rue is Dorothy, who are the other characters?
I would say, Alamo's the wizard. He seems to be the all-powerful one, but, maybe he's not behind the curtain. Laurie's probably the Wicked Witch. She's trying to kill. Maybe she'll dump a big water on Laurie. Probably all the strippers of the Munchkin Land people.
Oh, my God.
Bishop's the Scarecrow. Big Eddie's the Tin Man. And Marshawn Lynch is the Cowardly Lion.
I feel like you got to put Ali in there somewhere. Like Ali has got to be.
He's not at the strip club. He's not at the Silver Slipper.
Not yet. I think he's going to show up.
Yeah, we don't know what he does in his personal time.
Yeah, so I could see Ali coming in and being the Tin Man or the Cowardly Lion, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know if Bishop is really helping Rue. Like, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion need to come in and assist Rue.
Yeah. Well, he went with her to Laurie's.
That's
when they were
true.
going to
All
kidnap her.
Okay.
Big Eddie, he's pretty cold. He was like, go ahead and shoot them. Save me. I don't think he's got a heart. But he's definitely kind of like there with her, helping her manage like the strip club together.
Well, and I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessarily that the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Cowardly Lion help Rue. I think it's more they also want to go to the wizard. There's something that they all want too.
They all want something from Alamo, the wizard,
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
That's the good point. And
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch, I don't know, just gave me Cowardly Lion vibes. Feels like a chill dude, just kind of like laughing. Doesn't want to get in the fight.
He does seem that way. You're right. All right. You're basically just casting the Wiz.
Who's Glinda, the good witch?
The Good Witch? Well, is she friends with Laurie in this version of the Wizard of Oz? Are we going full Wicked?
No. This is the old school Wizard of Oz. Should be like friends with Dorothy.
I mean, maybe it's got to be Kitty then. We're seeing Rue and
does
Kitty
kinda look like a
starting to
Glinda.
get close. Yeah, maybe Kitty's gonna get up
What's
there.
her name again? You were telling me she's the Tell Me Lies girl's sister?
Yeah, Kitty is played by Anna Van Patten, who is Grace Van Patten's sister, who is in Tell Me Lies.
Okay.
So that was fun. I did think, God, this girl really looks like Grace Van Patten. Who is she?
Yeah.
Turns out it's her sister.
Could
All
be
right, we gotta
Rosalía
move
too.
on.
Rosalía might be the good witch. All right, we'll move on.
Well, I don't know. We haven't seen enough yet from Rosalía. There's
We
a
haven't
lot
seen
of
her be
theories
too
out
good,
there
yeah.
about her. Yeah, she doesn't seem too good
Magick.
yet. But
Yeah.
all right, moving on to our next theory. Rue is going to rob Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne had that safe that Faye talked about where he's like, what was he going to do? Raise avocados or something?
Something weird like that.
Yeah. In the trailer, Rue's like running through like a mine shaft or tunnel or something and seems to be getting shot at by Wayne. So that's probably she robbed the safe, I would bet.
Yeah, that safe is not safe. That's for sure. All right, our final theory. Jules' plastic surgeon sugar daddy changes Rue or Nate's face so they can start a new life. This is wild. This is wild.
This is a crazy theory I threw at you. I was like, I don't know. Maybe they specifically mentioned he's a plastic surgeon. I don't know. Maybe
I think
he changes.
they were doing that to show he's kind of creepy. He's a creepy plastic surgeon.
I thought it might come back around. Maybe he'll change Nate's face after he gets beat to a pulp to look like someone else, and maybe he'll look like Tyler now. Maybe he'll be Shy Guy.
He'll
new
get a new
face.
face to really embody Shy Guy now.
Yeah, and then him and Jules run off together.
Well, I'm a fan of that, so I'll take it. I'll take it. We get a full Shy Guy transformation.
You thought
We
this was
gotta
pretty
let go of
wacky.
Shy Guy. We gotta let go of him.
You thought this was a pretty wacky theory about me that the plastic surgeon changes Nate into Shy Guy.
Yeah, this is wild. That's a whole show in itself.
That's why it's the last one.
Yeah.
It's the last one I added on there.
We had to end on a banger.
Yeah. I mean, that guy is so creepy. Who knows? He could like kill Jules or something.
I know. Maybe Jules is the one who dies from this guy. That would be too sad, though. I don't even want to talk about that. We love Jules.
We would hate that so much.
Yeah.
We did see her wrapped in plastic at the beginning, but
That wasn't great. I don't know if things are going
I
to
hope
go
that wasn't
great for Jules,
foreshadowing.
but I don't think
Yeah.
she's going to die.
Yeah. I hope not.
All right, let's move on to some of the online theories that are out there. First one, Angel is alive and will help Rue. I really do not believe this theory. I'm sorry, you guys. I think you just want to be hopeful. Angel is dead.
I don't think Angel's coming back, but maybe we're wrong. It'd be great if she's alive, but I feel like it's so dark. She's been sold into like human trafficking or murdered.
Yeah, I don't think she's coming back. I don't think we're going to see her again. I think that this storyline was used to really show what Rue is now involved in. And how dark this really is. This is not just, oh, I'm managing like a strip club. There's a lot of shady, bad things going on with girls at this strip club. And it's supposed to show that Rue needs to wake up to what this strip club is doing.
And also that like Alamo does not put up with drug use.
Yes.
So don't be letting him think you've relapsed, Rue. He'll be sending you to that rehab and you'll disappear.
Yeah, that's a good point too. That's what he did to Angel. And he'll do it to anybody. He did not like when he thought that Rue relapsed. All right, next theory. Bishop is an undercover cop.
I've seen this a little bit everywhere. A lot of people think this.
I also think this is a little bit hopeful. I think when we're just kind of confused on a character and don't know what their motivations or intentions are, we just go, undercover cop. He must be that.
Must be a cop.
I don't know what he's up to, so he's got to be an undercover cop.
Weird vibe. Must be a cop.
I think Bishop has done some bad things. He just is not giving me undercover cop vibes.
I mean, in the preview for episode 5, he seems to be about to chop a guy up.
Yeah, I think Bishop is just weird.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he is. He does seem to have a secret, and I think people are interpreting that as that. But I don't know. It does feel like maybe he's just someone who lives by a code and feels uncomfortable with the things he has to do for Alamo. But I don't know. There's something weird about it, but
yeah,
I don't know if he's a cop, because he did, again, it looks so violent what he's doing in future eps, and he did kill that bird.
Yeah, he seems to be somebody who will go there and will get violent or do what he has to do, and that just does not give me undercover cop vibes. You would have to be pretty deep undercover to be doing all that.
Yeah, he's deep undercover if this is what he's doing, because in that preview it looked like he had someone tied up with duct tape. Looked like the bouncer from the club for, I guess, punishment for letting Laurie's crew in. So it looked like he took the bouncer and had him tied up with duct tape and was about to chop him up or something. It looks very scary. So,
and he was
not cop behavior.
And he was ready to let Big Eddie just bleed out there.
Yeah. That's true. That's pretty cold-blooded.
Yeah, Bishop seems pretty cold-blooded to be an undercover cop, in my opinion. But I don't know. That would be a great reveal. I like the theory of somebody is an undercover cop or an informant, or somebody will be there helping Rue at some point. He was on the inside.
Maybe he's struggling with faith as well.
I think that's a little bit more what Bishop's storyline is going to be about. Maybe he's also seeking redemption. Maybe Bishop's story helps Rue in some way to get there. I don't know. He just seems to be giving me a little bit more of like Messiah vibes than undercover cop vibes. I think his point to this story is going to be more about religion than the cop FBI part of the story.
Yeah, maybe he's going to be asked to kill Rue and lets her live. Yeah,
something like that I could see. Another online theory out there is that Cassie gets sold into sex trafficking by Maddie or Rue. Guys, this one is dark.
Ooh.
This is really dark. I think it's too dark. I don't think
people
that this
think
would
low
happen.
of these characters.
Yeah, I know, really.
Wow. I can't believe you think Rue would sell someone into sex trafficking.
I know she gave up Faye's name in last episode, but I don't think she would give Cassie to Alamo. That seems wild. But I think people are really thinking this from the shot in the Weeks Ahead trailer that shows Cassie in distress. She's on a bed with a cord wrapped around her neck. But this could be a lot of things. This could be her filming a scene for something. This could be one of Nate's. This could be one of Nate's.
A scene for something. I love that. Someone's into like cord play.
I meant like for LA Nights.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Not for her OnlyFans. I mean, maybe, I
Oh,
guess.
that's an interesting theory, yeah.
It could be
Just
her
an
LA Nights scene or something like that.
That's a good theory.
Or this could also go back to Nate's storyline, and maybe Nas is threatening Nate by hurting her.
Yep, that's true. I mean, it could be OnlyFans. It could be like she's making I don't know. Well, there's also shots that show her and Maddie at the Silver Slipper, which I think people don't understand how that converges. But I do think that could be a red herring. I feel like that could be a lot of things. That could just be like they were shooting some content for OnlyFans with the strippers. That Maddie was like, Rue, can we come there and shoot stuff with the strippers for OnlyFans? And I
think it could be a way maybe of Rue trying to help Kitty in this situation, because we really saw Rue reaching out to Kitty in the last ep, asking if she's okay, seeing the horrible things she's having to do and no one else caring.
Oh, that's a good thought.
So I do
she's trying
wonder,
to get Kitty a following.
Maybe something like that I think could happen, and that's how the storylines converge.
Well, when Cassie was going through that party of influencers, it kept cross-cutting between Kitty dancing and then, in that room with those men that we don't like to talk about.
Well, I think they're trying to show the similarities to stripping and creating content. And that I think a lot of times it can be all fun and games of, oh, well, you got to do what you got to do to make money. And I think a lot of times that is the people's kind of thought process of like stripping or OnlyFans or creative content. Like, get your money, girl, do what you have to do. But there's also a really dark side to this world. And showing that Cassie is kind of the more privileged side of this.
She's connected. Yeah. She knows
Kitty is the more like, this is my only option side.
I don't know anybody.
And I have to do these things and I don't have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. It kind of makes that line of Rue of like, is someone making you do this kind of even more interesting, because it's like society, my life circumstances.
Like, I just don't really have a choice in this. Whereas Cassie is more made the choice of, I want to do this. I want to create content. She has more of a say in what she puts out there, what she does, and Kitty doesn't. It's just showing the two different worlds of it.
Yeah. Although there could still be something with Kitty that's coercing her to do this. That Alamo has done to coerce her. We'll see.
We will see. I feel like more is going to come up there for sure.
I just don't know. I sort of feel like Nate's the one in the most danger, not Cassie. I mean, you're right. Maybe they could be doing it to threaten Nate, but I don't know. Maddie's getting her a following. Those OnlyFans subs are going to notice if she's gone.
That's another good point. Yeah. Now she's somewhat famous, it seems. She's got
fans.
Like. Yeah. Those fans are ride or die for her, probably.
She'll do anything for her fans.
She will. That is so good. I do think they're trying to keep Cassie's storyline a little more lighthearted, it feels like. There's so many other really dark parts we're seeing. And I think a lot of the comedy from this season is coming from Cassie's storyline. But I could see them also then going darker with it.
Wow. Watch Rue end up turning Cassie and Nate in. She finds out they're like have done some financial crimes that get her off the hook.
That's what she tells the cops about Nate and Cassie.
Yeah, Cassie and Nate's financial crimes, and that gets her out of this.
I would love this ending with Rue being the one to turn Nate Jacobs in. Because she tried so hard to do that in past seasons.
Yeah.
And she was the one who solved a lot of the mystery around Nate Jacobs. So I would love that.
This season, instead of her, how long have you been fucking Nate Jacobs? It could just be like, how long have you and Nate been fucking the IRS?
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. We see the FBI coming into that home with all their boxes, taking everything.
Well,
That would
I
be
think that would
great.
be quite a saving grace for Nate at this point.
Yeah.
Because I think those guys are going to kill him.
I think jail is better for Nate Jacobs right now than what he's got going on. At least he'll be safe there. He won't lose
Living
another
in fear.
toe, probably.
Yeah.
All right, last online theory is Magick is also an informant. This is an interesting
I weirdly
one.
am more open to this than Bishop because of that neck brace is so
I am
weird.
too. Is there a wire in that neck brace? What is going on in the neck brace?
It is odd. I mean, it does feel like it's got to be more than just funny. I don't know. Maybe Sam just thought it was so funny. Maybe he saw like a picture of a stripper like in a neck brace or something doing her act or something. It was just like, this is funny, but I don't know. It does feel like it might be part of the plot that she has this neck brace. Her excuse for having the neck brace was she said, "Oh, I have to wear it all the time. My lawyer said if I'm going to win this case and get 20 grand.
So it could just be showing what Magick has to do to like, she can't take a day off work. She's got to
make
keep
a buck,
dancing
yeah.
even with the neck brace on. That's what these girls have to do. Maybe it's more
She's
showing that,
arguing
but
with Big Eddie about it, and he says she can't do it. But in the end, it seems like they let her just bedazzle it and dance in it. But that is interesting if there's a mic in there the whole time, because it could be that like Rue's informing for the DEA, trying to catch like drug deals, but Magick is maybe informing for the FBI for like human trafficking or something, and they don't know about each other. They don't know they're both rats. Kind of, that's very Departed level.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I think
that's kinda
she's
fun.
an informant for the FBI, maybe
Oh, that's
about
good.
the sex trafficking, because I think we got to get more into that.
That's good.
And it's not just all about the drugs. There's a lot more going on at the Silver Slipper. So it feels like we're headed to a bigger place with Magick too. That she's going to be a bigger character after
did she
everything we
almost
saw
get
in the
Rue
last
killed?
episode.
When she went and tattled to Big Eddie on her?
But I wonder if she just doesn't know all the information about Rue.
Oh, she's just
She's
desperate
confused.
to get trust.
I don't know. It's kind of a wild theory, but I do believe this theory more than the Bishop one.
Yeah, it's interesting.
We just really want somebody to be an informant or an undercover cop, somebody
Everyone
else, so
thinks
Rue is not
somebody
so
is,
alone
yeah.
in this. We're like begging for another character to be involved.
We're all trying to find the other rat. We know
Yeah.
Rue's a rat. Who's the other rat?
There's got to be another rat. There's so many characters at this strip club.
I know.
And I think we just want Rue to not be so alone. We're like, please, she needs some help. Get another rat in there somewhere, please.
Well, what do you think our hit rate's going to be on these? We going to get 1, 2, 3?
I think we could get a couple. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think the plastic surgeon one changing Rue or Nate's face is gonna be real,
I
but
think he's going to change Nate Jacobs' face.
I
He's
think
gonna
we
become
brought
Shy
up
Guy
some-
forever.
I think we brought up some good points. I mean, you killed it with that Western show. So
Yeah, I do predict it's gonna end. There's gonna be a big like all the parties converging, chasing Rue at a church. Yeah.
And I could see Rue being buried in the sand at one point.
That'd be quite a visual.
Yeah, and maybe someone comes in to save her. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, lots of theories, lots of questions, lots happening in this season of Euphoria now. We're in it.
This was fun. It's fun to speculate.
It is. It's fun to throw some things at the wall. So thank you all. We hope you enjoyed these theories. Let us know if you have any other theories or questions or anything else that you want to say about this season of Euphoria so far, as we are halfway through. We'll probably do another one of these before the finale.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe we'll do a mailbag.
We
People
can
just
talk
send us
about
their
all that we got
theories.
wrong in this episode. That will be fun.
We're going to have a lot wrong, but I don't know. We're having fun.
We are. It's more fun to throw a wild theory at the wall than it is to just say what is probably going to happen.
Yeah.
So maybe it all is just Lexi's screenplay. We don't know. We'll find out. We will be back on Monday for episode 5 of season 3 of Euphoria, called This Little Piggy. Is Nate gonna lose another toe? Is that why it's called that?
That's a good prediction. Nate's gonna lose another toe in the next step.
I could definitely see that happening. That guy's gonna have no toes left soon.
Or they're gonna take the same one back off that he reattached.
Oh, right. I forgot he reattached it. Oh, he's losing that again for sure. Be sure to check back our past episodes. We've covered all of Euphoria season 1 and 2, plus the specials, which we loved. Also, I'm doing a new thing called Previously On This Week, which is a roundup of this week's stories and what to watch. So be sure to check that out too. And follow our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. It really helps. We would love that. Follow me on social media, previously on _Teen TV. Subscribe and like our videos on YouTube and buy our merch on Etsy. Thanks for listening.
Bye.